400,000.
James finds himself in a similar position that Sam was on the last hand with a draw, no made hand, knows he needs to either improve or get his opponent to fold, so puts in the semi-bluff of his own to 400,000.
Oh. All right, welcome all back. Sorry about the little hiccup there. Hope everybody's gotten back on to pick back up the coverage.
Yep, quick hiccup in the stream. Give it a little kick. We're back. James semi-bluffs his open-ender against Sam and takes the pot. Didn't miss much. This is the very next hand, and James is taking it down.
That's James there. James Carroll from Vegas. He says he's lived there for the last 13 years. One pretty huge, very successful tournament poker player for quite a while now.
I think that's actually his lifetime earnings.
That is his
there,
lifetime
his
earnings,
so
correct.
Nearly $6 million in tournament earnings, 2 WPT titles to his name. Betty asked, did Sam get his hearts? He bet, and his opponent folded, so he didn't need it. Took the win without having to make his flush.
Let's get all those Mike fans back out there. Nearly back.
1.5.
Call 80,000.
James calls, and this is a trap with the ace deuce. If Steven shoves, I don't imagine he's folding. Steven checks. We'll see a flop.
Gets the deuce.
Check.
Hard to make a pair. James does so, even though it's the bottom variety. 10 of clubs. No harm, no foul. His deuce actually figures to be best the majority of the time, and this 10, with Steven checking the flop, no way he has one of those. We're playing four-handed. Here's your chip counts. Michael's still on top with 5.9 million. Did lose a chunk against the semi-bluff when Sam had 9 deuce of hearts, so has dropped a little bit as he had risen close to 7 million, but obviously still the dominant chip leader at the table. Couple of aces here. Strong hands four-handed.
Let's see what Sam tries here. He goes up.
175,000.
We are playing 40,000, 80,000, 80,000. Have gone up to the next level. That means Sam has just under 30 blinds. Good fold from James, letting the ace-4 offsuit go in that case. Looks like Steven Song has a decision with his 1.5 million. That is just under 20 bigs. Lays his hand down, and I'm sure Michael with a 6 deuce off. Likely to follow suit, does so.
Hello again, Jahira. Let everybody know we're back. Text everybody.
I appreciate you.
Mike fans, I need somebody to go around the work and tell them all to sign back on, log back on. Be a part of this history. This is the Chris Moneymaker Poker Tour. He is recreating the magic here for several of these players. From the time in 2003 when he won an $86 satellite and catapulted himself into $2.5 million in the World Series bracelet.
Raise 160,000.
Oh, good. Thank you, Watermelon. I appreciate it.
Michael raises up the queen 9 offsuit. Sam a very pretty king 10 suited in the big blind. Won't be folding. We'll see if he chooses to continue with a call or a raise. The suited variety plays very well post flop, so happy to call or raise here. If we raise and then get jammed on, we hate it because it's such a good hand and plays well post flop. So it does choose. Does choose to call. Now, Michael flops a gut shot to the jack. Sam with top 2.
He's living in Sarasota now. Plays at Seminole Hard Rock in Tampa. In Sarasota, Sarasota Downs, and probably Derby Lane too. I don't have much else beside that. I did record him saying a few things earlier before we started the event, but it really, the audio quality is just not there. The video quality is just not there. So we just elected to not use those quick little intro videos that we made. We appreciate the players coming down and being willing to share with us, though.
Michael continues with his gut shot. Sam sets the trap and calls with his top 2 pair, keeping Michael's bluffs in there.
Good deal. I'm glad. Everybody, you hear that? Subscribers, if we do get knocked offline, then you get a notification beep whenever we come back.
450,000.
So please like, subscribe, follow us on Twitch, subscribe on YouTube, hit that notification bell, and we will let you know when we're here.
Michael sizes up on the turn to 450,000. Trying to get his opponent to fold weaker hands or 2s, 4s, maybe even a 10. Not happening here. Sam has laid the trap, and Michael is betting into him. The only question now is to raise now or to just call. Let your opponent keep bluffing with his hands just like this one.
You feel like a genius unless Jack hits on the river.
Well, it's a risk you take. Majority of the time it doesn't, so we're happy to play for what happens most often. You could, of course, raise and just take what's out there. It's a large pot, big spot. But if you just call and Michael doesn't hit one of the cards that give him a pair or a straight, then the only way Michael can win is to bet again. And at that point, you're happy to put it in.
He's going big down.
Raise.
Can't blame him. Michael's bet twice. He has a strong hand like ace, king, king, queen, ace, ace even. Any of those hands. Gonna be hard to let it go. This one though, the jig is up. He does raise small. Michael's searching if he is behind, which obviously Sam is telling him he is. If he is, he's only looking for one specific card, that is one of the 3 remaining jacks.
Bonita Springs Poker Room. Thank you, Hold'em. We could probably find Sam there. I don't know if you want to find him at a poker table, though. Guy looks like he plays pretty good. A dry run compared to getting hit in the face with the deck, yeah.
This is kind of the first time we've seen him like really double barrel, put a lot of chips in, trying to force somebody to fold as the big stack. And he just happened to run into it, so. I think, can't speak for Michael, but Sam only has $1 million behind, so. It'll be really hard to continue in this hand with just the queen high, out of position. So few outs that give us a strong hand. Might be time to give up on this one. He might look at those 2.2 million chips out there. Not want to give up on them, though. You're right. I think Chuck D for 3 says somebody tell him to fold. I would imagine that his inner voice is telling him this is a fold, but
That's right.
such a big pot.
And he's woefully behind. Like I said, 8% of the time you get one of those 3 jacks.
Big pot, yeah.
So
He apologizes for the time it takes, but certainly reasonable to do so. We've actually been playing fairly quickly. Haven't been a lot of these spots where people think for a long time. But this, if he is genuinely considering continuing.
yeah, the 24 cell. We agree that that appears to be the case, but there's 2.2 million in the pot now, and Sam has less than $1 million behind. So when you have the big stack, sometimes the bet is to, you know, take out somebody.
Yeah, the other possibility is he's considering re-raising all in and putting Sam to the test, maybe trying to get Sam to fold a king or a 10 if Sam for some reason is raising those hands. We know it won't work, but maybe Michael isn't thinking of calling at all. Maybe he's thinking, can I get this guy to fold if I put him to the ultimate test? You're right, WV King. This is probably the biggest spot Michael's ever been in live poker, with 134K up top. Every decision is crucial.
He's counted out the call, and he's got it in his hand. I think he wants to call.
The devil on his shoulder is telling him, raise. He can fold. He's the short stack. He doesn't want to bust. You're the big stack. You're supposed to put the pressure on. But I think the logical side of Michael is probably saying, move on. Find a better hand. What are we doing?
That's correct. We said it last night. Poker, you don't get paid to win pots. You get paid to make the right decision. You don't have to win every pot.
I think his opponents at the table recognize how important this spot is for him. They don't know his hand, obviously, but giving him credit for having a real decision and not calling clock. We'll see how long Steven waits. Just paralyzed by this raise from Sam. I don't know if he's trying to put the pieces together or just trying to talk himself into a decision.
Interesting, though, Sam put in exactly half of his stack.
Looks that way, yes.
That's a pretty clear statement, too, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's just so little left behind that if Sam has any value hand, I don't think he's ever folding.
That's a good fold, yeah.
Okay.
What
He
we
does,
expect.
does come to it. Only way to know exactly what was going through his head is by asking him.
You
And
can find out. Yeah, whatever. Well, like,
I think the chat agrees that it was a good fold.
oh, yeah.
Or time to
Yeah,
fold,
probably.
please.
right about now, as this is streaming, when they reach their break, or if someone tells them what he had, the rest of the table might be a little surprised at the tank with the queen 9. But like the rest of the chat mentioned, big spot for our chip leader. Thinks it through and does release.
Reese Poo relieved there.
Yeah, I bet. If he chose to, get silly, as they say, and mix it up, get aggressive, then his stack would have been cut way down. So as it is, preserves his lead, and Sam chips up over 3 million now.
This is about the third or fourth time now that we've had these two battle in the blinds.
120.
Just happens so often in a four-handed situation. players are playing the correct amount of hands pre-flop, even then, just folds to the blinds a large portion of the time. So, short-handed play, a very different beast. Oftentimes, you're basically playing heads up with the person on your left or right. Players who are proficient at heads-up poker get advantage in those situations, know how to maneuver, know how to play their position. Steven Song, short stack at 18 big blinds. Hanging around, keeps chipping up when it's most important.
What do you think about Instamux? Do you balance your range? Do you?
I don't believe in balancing
Yeah.
my range. Now, here's the thing. I'll take the same amount of time with the hand that I'm playing.
Right.
So if I look down at pocket aces or 10 jack suited or pocket threes, whatever it is, with my hand, just take a moment, put the raise in. If I look down at a trash hand like jack 3 offsuit, I don't believe there's any advantage or disadvantage to immediately folding. I think that's better for the game.
Better too.
It's the marginal spots. Maybe you legitimately do not know if you're going to play a hand or how to handle it, but especially if it's folded to you, so you're just deciding whether to open or not.
Right.
Obviously, if there's an open in front of you, then you have more to think about, and certainly fine to take your time and think. But just, we know our pre-flop ranges. We know if we're playing a hand. No reason to sit there and tank with the jack deuce offsuit
Right.
from under the gun.
I agree 100%.
The exception being in the everyone's favorite spot when you're near the bubble and you're trying and you're a short stack.
Right.
Some people will tank in those spots. Not everybody's favorite
Draw
thing
it
to
out
do,
a little
but
bit.
the rules written as they are currently, it is certainly a spot that some people use to take advantage of. Oh boy, we have a spot here. Steven with the ace king
Raised
suited.
450,000.
Blind versus blind battle. James has ace 9. May see Steven get all the chips in the middle against the dominated ace.
He 3-betted to 450 after James's raise.
Yep,
All in.
there it is.
He's all in and a call. Let's see him. Now this is what the other two really wanted to see.
Yep. Get one of these guys to be the short stack. Who's it going to be?
There's an
Oh,
ace
there is
on
a
the
9
board.
of clubs working.
The club
Oh
got there.
no!
Wow.
Steven played so well, folded so many times when he had the worst hand. Finally gets the best of it, puts it in, and gets run down by James Carroll. Good game, Steven. Well played.
It's a pleasure to watch you play.
Lots of, put on a clinic at this final table, really. Every decision you made was the right one. You'll go home with $36,755 for your efforts. We're all better for having watched it, and now we're down to 3-handed. Congratulations to you. Good run. I'm sure we'll see you at a final table soon.
You mean to call? No. Didn't think so. I didn't mean to answer you right. I haven't looked yet.
Just ironic that he mentioned that this was
25.
the brutal jump.
The brutal jump, and he's the one that suffers the brutality.
It has really been a pleasure. These guys are very good. It's been interesting, like I said, watching them size up their opponents and their bet sizes, and
Well, yeah, I think
been
your fight
fascinating.
senses went off too, though. Yeah, I'm sure. Raising no matter what there. Doesn't matter.
I need to get a good run charm, a run good charm.
Gotta say, man, it's been
There's our chip counts, and they are more even than they have been for a long time. 3.1 to 4.8 is the range. So, going to be no one sitting around waiting for someone to bust as far as a super short stack. So, all three of these guys will be playing fairly standard ranges, 3-handed.
I think we almost got exactly balanced here too somehow. Now
Okay, thank you.
Sam's got 3.3, but that's not short stack, you know.
Right, that's what I'm saying. 3.3 compared with 4.8. Grand scheme of things doesn't change the play too much.
Like if I was chip leading,
Florida Mountain Man calls it right. It's anybody's game.
normally don't chop.
Chuck, I thought when you said all about the flow that you were referencing Kevin Nealon's character in Happy Gilmore. The flow.
All
All about the flow. Doing the bull dance, feeling the flow, working it. All right. Fairly evenly split among the chatters right now. If you got a favorite, you need to get some friends into the chat. I believe Spirit transfers directly to the players' chips. I have a lot of magical thinking, you know. Poker's magical realism inherently.
Getting philosophical in here.
That's right. That's right.
Magical realism inherently. Okay. That's 3 words. Put in that order.
Doesn't hurt to like run some numbers. Run some numbers, yeah. Like, that's what you boys want to do.
There you go. Talk about a deal. I think we're going to make them play it out either way. So we're going to have action. But they may balance out the prize pool a little bit, considering that they're all, like he just said, I think we're all about even.
Yep.
You got probably the
Big
same.
spot. James Carroll, very experienced in final table play.
Fairly even.
Happy to lead the conversation about a potential chop. They are allowed. That said, you do have to reserve a certain percentage for the prize pool and the trophy and play it out. So we will see this played to a winner, even if they reach a potential deal. All 3 of these players have locked up currently $60,424. That's the 3rd place money. Couple of real hands here. James with the king-9 suited, 3-handed, very good hand. Raises, but Michael finds pocket 8s in the big blind. It's always interesting. Once conversations about a deal start happening, you don't want to lose a large portion of your chips, because then the deal might be off the table or much worse for you.
We've seen players tighten up almost to their own detriment.
Michael does make the raise here. Very strong. Pocket 8s, 3-handed.
560 he goes to.
The K9 hand here at the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
It's a very popular hand here at the track. K9.
Woof.
We actually have doggy, what do they call it?
Daycare?
No, the races where you bring your own dog in.
Oh, yeah, they were telling me about
Yeah,
that.
Mutt Derby.
Mutt Derby.
Yeah.
Not a super competitive competition. Very fun. Bring your dog out to the track.
It's one of my favorite days at work. You get all the dogs.
Yeah.
You know, they all race, but do they race? You
Yeah,
know,
quote,
it's
unquote.
you just laugh the whole time.
Mike takes one down, raises up the pocket 8s. James chooses to wait for a better spot than that.
I'm probably off it, but like if it's like, you know, something that's good.
You gotta like punch into see what like ICM calculator says and then maybe give it a little bit more or something.
Yeah.
That guy right there is an ICM calculator. I
Well,
bet you can ask him right now, and he could probably tell you exactly.
Complicated computation. It is. There's computers made for this thing. It'll tell you what your chip stack is worth. It's not a perfect system, but it does calculate it.
Yep.
Listen, the dealer sits down and says, "You are the exact 3 that I thought would be here." Eliciting smiles from the players.
Yeah.
They might. I think I heard James saying that he might be willing to have that conversation about a deal if we continue to play and stacks remain similar as blinds go up. Either that or they're having the conversation now. I'd be bringing over an ICM calculator to have some conversations. Yep, they're counting their chip stacks exactly. This is either for production or for an ICM calculator. We'll see which.
3.05.
There is
It
Tony
is
Burns.
Tony, so I bet you he has that ICM calculator pulled up on his phone.
All right. Well, we'll help them with that. We're going to switch over to us. Hello, everyone. I'm repping the gear. Find yourself some of this stuff. Palm Beach Kennel Club, Moneymaker Tour. They're going to have these on every stop. We have them for sale up here.
Beautiful.
Absolutely.
They had a lot of things pull over, shirts, hats, things for sale up there. As players count their exact chips, they're going to figure out what the ICM model says their chip stack is worth. Of course, you can deviate from that number. That's just one way to calculate what a fair split would be. Oftentimes in situations like this, when James Carroll is in the mix, he has a lot of experience, might feel like he has an edge on these two players. If anyone's going to ask for more than their ICM share, could be him. And all three players have to agree on a potential payout.
I'm reminded of Moneymaker and Farha and the conversation in the bathroom that he says he had about how I believe his exact words were, "F you, let's play." So we'll see.
You know, it means no offense to others. You might say, I feel like I'm better. I'm going to ask for this if we want to make a deal. They can say no. It is negotiation.
Right.
Otherwise, let's play some poker and figure it out. Let the cards fall how they may. And I'm not saying that James in this spot would ask for more money than his compatriots have, because he obviously is the shorter stack, but he might ask for more money than the ICM calculator says his stack is worth.
Right, because the added value of his knowledge to his chips.
Knowledge, competence, ability, experience, all these things come into play. Also knowing that this money probably means more to his two opponents than it does to him. Frees him up to play his game a little bit more, possibly.
Yep.
All speculation.
Yeah. Ifs and buts.
If we find out something, we'll let you know. If a deal is made, we'll let you know.
We will certainly. And I have, I can update today's multi-flight, but I did get the number total for the first four flights.
Okay.
That was 264 active.
Entrance thus far?
That's correct. That puts about 75,000 in the prize pool. So we're overlaid by 30 grand right now. So
one flight left.
That's right. They're 286. Yeah, you still have to pay the 286 to get in, but now it's worth like 320 bucks, you know.
You basically get a refund on your money and it goes into the prize pool. More value there. So 6 p.m. is the final flight, Flight E of the 100K. Come out, play some poker at the Moneymaker Tour main event, or with it going on at the side. Can be a part of the inaugural Moneymaker Tour.
That's right. And believe me, you want to be in these pictures because the pictures Omar is taking are fantastic.
Yeah.
I searched through to find if we had pictures of the players for today's event, and we had all of the players. It seems that he took a picture of everyone.
Very probably $286 is probably cheaper than you would pay a professional photographer to get some new cover shots for you.
That's true.
So come out, get an entry fee, get your photo taken, get a shot at a piece of the 100K guarantee. Behind us, we have the track at the Palm Beach Kennel Club. No longer in use for the competitive races, but still very beautiful. They take care of it. I was surprised.
Yeah.
It just looks pristine out there.
Maintain the track, sure.
Yeah, absolutely. You have a dog daycare, right?
Right.
As well here.
Doggy daycare.
What's it
That's
called?
Camp Rusty.
Camp Rusty in action.
Rusty is the name of the rabbit lure. So when our old track announcer, with Mike, here comes Rusty. You know, so that's the name of the track lure. So now this is Camp Rusty, the doggy daycare and retreat. You can bring your dogs in. They're open 7 to 7 for half day and full day daycare. We also board overnight. There are different rates for that. You can give them a call. I have their number somewhere, or you can just call us here at the track, 561-683-2222. 0 will get you right to security, HR, and they can fill you in from there or even transfer you directly to the doggy daycare itself. 92 players in the event so far today. The Moneymaker event 20D 100K guarantee. That's for 286 bucks. We've got, I happen to know, a big sign on 95 on the billboard announcing to the world 100K for 286 bucks. So I would imagine we're going to get more action in tonight's flight. We are lighting the prize pool for now. So there's an overlay happening, and that adds value to your dollar if you'd like to come and get involved.
Couple questions in the chat. We'll hit those up. WV King, they discussing a deal, or on break they are discussing a deal. Tony Burns, tour manager, came out with an ICM calculator. The 3 players left remaining are discussing what numbers might look like if anybody is open to a deal. That said, even if they do come to a deal, they are going to play it out. You have to set aside a certain percentage of the prize pool to play for, as well as the trophy. So even if they come to a deal, we will be playing this one out to winner tonight. There's some thunder, some lightning in the background.
I know.
Little storms down here
I'm
in Southern
feeling nervous
California.
here. So we'll put this
Also-
is the table back up. I want to give you who we've got again. Michael Rossi. He's from Tampa. Best cash 79 grand. It was at the Seminole Hard Rock in Tampa. Regular player there, satellited in on the ACR 50-seat satellite. Also Sam Ronalds. 21K is big cash. It was a PLO event, which is not Hold'em, which suggests Sam has some range in his poker game. Someone on here says he played professional basketball as well.
WV King, yeah, I'm sure that's what they're talking about. I said if anybody's going to ask for extra money, it's likely the very experienced and accomplished James Carroll. How much he would ask for, up to him. It's a negotiation.
Normally the
All 3 players have to
person that says
agree.
No is punished. So
Looks like players are returning to the table.
it's more fun to play it out anyway.
It's more fun to play it out anyway. That sounds like there was no deal.
Okay, 40, 80.
We'll find out for sure based on the conversation. Sounds like
Yeah, that sounds like we might have some intrigue.
they're playing it out.
Was that James there talking, saying
Yeah.
it's more fun to play it out? Okay,
Yeah,
maybe he did ask for more.
It's likely the case because if the players were just offered an exact ICM payout, I would guess that Sam and Mike would say yes. Not sure. Maybe they want the glory
Yeah.
of playing it out.
They jump on it.
But
The cards are in the air, though.
yeah, if they were offered less than their ICM worthy stack, maybe they were not happy with such. Perfectly fine, means no offense. Each player able to offer what they think is right. And this time,
Have to advocate for yourself. In
yeah,
poker.
we'll play it out.
Oaks Poker, a fan of the no chop there. I appreciate that, Oaks Poker.
Raise.
Again, we're not sure what discussion was had off stream, so we're just
305.
basically the conversation that's happening sounds like they didn't reach a deal. But to James' point, they would be playing this out either way. So it is possible that they reach some sort of deal and are playing it out for remaining money. But
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
he said more fun to play it out anyway, which makes me
Yeah.
think they didn't come to a deal, but not necessarily. So don't take
Perhaps
my
they
word for
did,
word. Once
yeah.
we get confirmation, we'll let you know. Lines at 40K, 80K with an 80K big blind ante. There's somewhere around, let's see, get the exact number, I think 12.8 million chips in play, something like that.
yeah. Even chop on the prize pool as of now is around 72,000. So if they made a deal, it could be right around in that range. I believe they need to leave 5% on top to play for. Luke, that could be true. Says James played a big mind game on them if they didn't make a deal there.
Maybe. I don't think it's any secret to these 2 satellite players that James has way more experience in tournament poker.
175.
Like, that's by asking for more, which just, again, assumptions.
That's a speculation on our part.
I
yeah.
think they probably expect that if that's what happened.
Right.
Not maybe it might get into their head, being reminded, looking in his eyes, that he thinks he's better.
Right.
Sure, might be a mind game, but I don't think it's a big secret. I think these guys know what's up. There are about 160 big blinds in play. Typically, if you set a line on when the tournament will end, usually somewhere between 40 and 60 big blinds in play. So a few more levels would be the computer's guess. Of course, anything can happen. Coolers, monsters, suck-outs, those sort of things can adjust that. But
Right.
likely, we're looking at a few more levels of poker tonight.
I called 3:30 yesterday.
Yeah, I said 5:30 p.m. tonight was my over-under. We'll see. If a deal is made, often things play fast because people
Sure.
are more willing to get it in when you're playing for only 5% of the prize pool than the entirety. But thus far, it doesn't seem that way.
Matt was telling me we don't say the L word. Lightning.
Oh, I didn't say that.
I did.
I said thunder and storms.
Right.
I was like, what L word did I say? And what is an L word?
That's purely because he's a Panther super fan and
Oh my.
cannot stand the team from the other coast.
210.
Two strong hands, King Jack and
Wow.
King Queen off. I love it.
We could see some action.
And James
Call.
disguises the strength of his hand. A perfect time to do so, assuming he can flop a king, and he does.
They're both going to be excited about this one.
There is an ace on board, of course, but you can't always give credit to your opponent having the top pair. In fact, I don't think Michael will, given that James just called pre-flop. So this king's looking very strong. Little does he know,
160.
pipped by the queen kicker of James, and in rough shape.
With that ace out there, though, if he pairs the board without pairing the king, then they're just top out.
Correct, that's true, unless it is an ace that pairs. Kings and aces with a queen kicker will
Right.
play. Regardless, Michael can still control the size of the pot with a betting lead and position, can decide if and when more chips go in. So, doesn't have to lose a big pot, even though this is somewhat of a cooler flop playing three-handed. Luke 68, Panther Nation 3-0. Shout out to the Panther Nation.
Only 5 more, Matt says.
Counting it down. St. Louis Blues fan
3-6.
here. I remember what it was like marching towards the Stanley Cup. I remember when where I was when we won it. Very special year after being bad for a very long time. Very cool. I wish the best. I wish every fan could experience that. Sometimes players or people go through their entire lifetime without their favorite team winning a championship.
Yeah.
So when it happens, it makes you really appreciate it.
Well, in 85, 86, I was 8, 9 years old and thought the Bears were the best thing ever. And they haven't won anything since. Well, not anything. They did play for it at least a couple years ago. 2018, I think they were in the playoffs deep.
Check, check on the river as expected.
And he's outkicked.
Yep. And just like that, James takes the chip lead, I believe.
Yes, he does.
Scary thing to say. Scary concept to wrap your mind around if you're Mike. You had the chip lead this entire final table. You start to have a talk about a deal. Doesn't come to fruition. And now James Carroll has the chip lead with 5.7 million. Every pot means so much. It can swing a chip lead just like that. How will Michael respond now having to fight from just barely behind the chip leader?
Now, you did mention something that I didn't consider when I first started talking about it that they may have actually come to a deal, but they still need to play it anyway. So those words are a little cryptic now.
That's correct, yeah. Not positive. He did say more fun to play it out anyway,
Right,
which makes me feel like instead of coming to a deal.
right.
But again, if we get confirmation for that, we'll let you know. Probably be able to get a little more info once we would reach the break in about, I think it's 45 minutes. Our next break will be. In the meantime, we play on. We know what you do. Michael checks back, a very strong ace-6. People playing a little trappy coming back from that conversation.
120.
James flops best with middle pair. And Michael's going to think that he can't go away just yet with a hand as strong as ace-high.
I love Philly. I love the stories about Pennsylvania championships, especially the Philly with the greasing the light bulbs. That's hilarious. They actually do that. They grease the light poles up so many feet so that when people try to climb up the light poles, they slide back down.
Oh boy. Modern problems require modern solutions,
That's
huh?
correct. The savvy crowd there in Philly.
Shouting out their favorite sports teams. We see a Go Heat. We see the Pittsburgh Pirates. Look at this. Not only do we have an international crowd, but we have people rooting for a wide variety of teams. I've seen more New York Yankee fans in this Florida town than I have in a long time anywhere else, including New York City. This is the 6th borough down here, or so I hear, in southern Florida.
That's correct. That's correct. Work their life off up there. They get to retirement. They sell everything and move on down. Live in the sun. Drink boat drinks by the pool. Go Chicago Sky. Hell yeah.
Wow.
Hopefully so.
Okay.
Hey, I love it. Let's represent everybody.
WNBA in the house. How many WNBA teams do you think you could name if I put you on the spot?
I know seven, 8 of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's higher than your average fan.
Yeah,
Probably.
I watch still. I
Excellent.
think the women's game is vastly more a fundamental basketball game, and it's more entertaining to me to watch because when you team match up, you actually are dealing with people who are very good in every spot and everything. You know, I think it's just a better game as far as pure basketball goes.
Yes.
Now, the entertainment value of somebody jumping over somebody and dunking, you know.
Ladies.
All 3 of them.
Speaking of
How about that?
women's events, 3 queens show up on the flop.
See, I'm going to, E-Jock, I'm going to give you that credit for that one. You start talking about the sky, and then we get 3 ladies on the flop.
Michael does open up the 6-8 offsuit from the small blind. Sam calls with a dominating 8-10. It's a weird flop. Wide ranges. Neither player is going to think they have the best hand.
I just feel like the 8 is going to come.
Well, in this case, it would chop it up, but ace high. Michael might want to represent this ace after raising pre-flop, and I think it will work.
Yeah.
Unless Sam wants to get creative.
One $100,000 unit chip.
Yeah, not much Sam can do. Handcuffed. Let's go with the 10 high, and Michael gets a much needed pot after losing a chunk with his king
dry
jack.
spell, yeah. Once again, thank you all for joining us. This is Palm Beach Kennel Club, PBKC, in West Palm Beach, Florida at 1111 North Congress Avenue, conveniently located across the street from Palm Beach International Airport. Fly in, come on over, sit down, and we'll deal you in. This is the Moneymaker Tour, the inaugural event of the Moneymaker Tour, and this is the main event final table. We are down to 3 players left playing for hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Michael getting back involved from the button with a queen 10 suited opens. With blinds of 80,000, he chooses 210. He runs into a strong hand from James, though. In the big blind, the ace jack off. Once more, James laying the trap with a strong hand. He did it last time with king queen, now he'll do it with ace jack. I think what's happening is James has deduced that Michael might overplay his hands when he senses weakness. I don't want to say overplay, might be a strong word, maybe too negative of a connotation, but basically Michael is not afraid to fire when he feels like he has control of the pot. And so James knows if he can just make a strong hand like he did last time,
Right.
then that might be the way he stands to make the most out of a pot, rather than 3-betting pre with these hands. We'll see. In this case, he
So far
gets
he's
himself
whipping.
into a sticky situation. 3 hearts now on the turn, though.
Yeah, he has the ace.
Ace high, very often the best hand, but not this time, as Michael has top. Doesn't bet again, checks back,
Oh,
and James improves. Ace of hearts, obviously the best hand, will likely go for some value to get called by worse flushes. But I don't think Michael will be interested in betting himself if check 2.
takes him to Value Town.
Good players bluff 4 flush boards very often because it's very hard to get called on a 4 flush board. Many players just snap muck anything they have that doesn't contain a heart. So James might make this play without a hand, but he did call the flop, so what exactly is he holding here? If he has any sort of pair, doesn't really need to bluff. Unless he's trying to get a better hand to fold, but a lot of times it's a hand like this. In this case, the best heart flush. Chantola, I think you are touching on something that's happening as well. You're right. James Carroll feels like he has an edge, wants to play post-flop, keep the pots, keeps the variance lower. You're right, absolutely. I think it's a combination of the two. Watching him play earlier when we were bigger, more people at the table, he was 3-betting hands very similar to this, putting pressure on shorter stacks. Just speculating from what I've seen from Michael so far. What we just saw in the King Jack versus King Queen hand. Double barreled with that hand, even with the ace out there.
It's quite possibly the worst card. Great. Whether you had it or not, it's a great card for you to represent a 2 spades land.
We hear Michael say the same thing. Whether you had it or not, it's a good card for you to put a bet out there.
I'll probably vomit if I see that you didn't have it.
Just there's plants over there.
Right. He said, I'll probably vomit if I look and see you didn't have
Yeah.
it. Well, your gastroenterologist will be happy to know that he had the ace of hearts.
James Carroll was the chip leader after all 3 day 1 flights completed. So going into day 2, he held the chip lead. Look at him now. He has parlayed that chip lead into a chip lead at the final table as well. Michael checks behind the suited queen 9. Plays well post flop. Let's see 3.
Michael's kind of flop.
120.
James is the only one that voluntarily put in more chips. So that results in him betting, hoping his opponent did not hit a pair. Michael did. He'll continue with second pair. James only 1% equity.
4 gives James the bottom pair. He'll check. I think Michael thinks the pot's big enough.
I think if Michael would have thought about that for a bit, might have found a bet, because could have sought some value and protection with his second pair. If James is checking there, likely doesn't have a king. Obviously, nothing is 100%, but
He did.
goes for the value on the river instead. Perhaps that was the plan all along. Regardless, no more to be found. Takes the pot down. Hey, 5Bet Bluff has a question that you can answer. How do I get on the 1-2 No Limit Hold'em live stream that you guys run here?
That is an excellent question, 5Bet Bluff. If you come in on Thursday and get on the list, we have a rotating list. So if you don't make it, all the players who do move down and you move up. So if you make it a regular thing where you're here before noon on Thursday, then eventually you're going to be in the game. If not the first week, probably the second week.
Can they call in and put themselves on the list, or do you have to be
You
present?
can call in and put yourself on the list, but you need to check in before noon, because again, we need to know who all we've got before we go. So you check in at noon, you're on the list, you're in the game. Call up, yeah, call up and
I think the game is Thursday night, right?
it's Thursday
Yeah,
at noon, right?
Oh, the game starts at noon?
You have to check in by noon.
Right.
We get all the players upstairs by 11, around 12:30, 12:45. We start filming. 1 o'clock we go live.
Gotcha.
And then we play for 3 hours live. And again, if you're here, if you're on the list, players get knocked out. You know, players have bad days. Players have to go somewhere sometimes, you know. We have PLO live streams, James Gunther. We have a few different games interested in coming and playing again. We've been trying our best to grow the PLO game in general. We ran a 1-2 PLO for a while. We have listed small blind PLO games, trying to build that crowd a little bit. We have a lot of people who say they want to play, but it's hard to get everybody here at the same time. You know?
Yeah, sounds like show up, put your name on the list, hope for the best. If you don't get called the first week, I like the system. Let it, you know, people take turns.
Sure.
Don't feel like you know, you're being excluded.
Well, we've run into it before where they say, you know, people start to think that they are the game, and it is our game every week. It's our game, and we love those. We love all of our players, but we're showing the 1-2 No Limit game.
Yeah.
We're not showing James's game or Michael's game or you know, Sam's game. We're showing the 1-2 No Limit game. So we want to rotate. We want to put new fresh blood in there.
Bex, appreciate it. Watching you guys in bed. Great bath. PJs, tea. Sounds like you're having a great evening.
Yeah, rocket.
Last night was wine. Tonight's some tea. You make good choices.
Very good, 5Bet Bluff. Thank you very much. This is the Action Palace, Palm Beach Kennel Club. We love to play. We love poker in general. We love to stream. We love to watch and talk about poker. So.
Hey, you have your favorite players you play against. Appreciate that. No need to put anyone down. Everyone's at different places with their game, but obviously we want to play players that we think we're better in.
Right.
Better than. Just a part of the game. Different people play for different reasons. I like making money as much as the next guy, but it's not everything in this world.
I've always been the play the game you can beat kind of guy.
It's one of the best skills a professional poker player can have is game selection. Ego gets in our head. We think we can beat any game. We sit down with players that are very, very good, and we want to prove ourselves, that sort of thing. Sometimes
Thinking about something silly.
move on, grab your PJs and a tea, and have a night off instead, like Bex.
Right. Which sounds fantastic. They are going on break. Has it been 45 minutes already? Holy cow.
perhaps, I think actually, and I'll have to double check this, did levels decrease when we got down to a certain number? We'll find out. We have a couple questions we need to ask the tournament staff now that we're at this point in the tournament. We'll try and find out if any sort of deal took place, if levels have decreased in length now that we're playing shorthanded. We'll find out all that. We'll use this break to do so. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. This stream's going to continue on. If you are playing, if you do have your audio up, might want to turn it down a little bit. We're going to play one of our pre-recorded videos that people have told us are fairly loud. So meet Gene Calden if you haven't already, 100-year-old poker player that plays right here at Palm Beach Kennel Club, and we'll be back in just a few.
Gene Calden. In January, I reached 100 years old. I've been playing poker for real money now in between 15 and 20 years, I guess. I will play 6 or 7 days a week. If I don't get knocked out, I can be here all day. I do play cash as well. Oh, I don't play cash as well.
Who knocked you out, Chris? The youngest guy at the table, Mr. Gene over there, punished me.
When we were young teenagers, much younger than a teenager, we used to play poker for pennies. 6, 7 years old, 8 years old, whatever, whatever it is. We got older, we play for nickels. Well, I'm a fairly solid player. The secret to being 100 years is getting to be 99.
All right, that was Mean Gene, O Gene, whatever. There are several nicknames that he's been given in the chat. He is 100 years old, and I contend the oldest living competitive poker player in the world. Somebody proved me wrong. I would be happy if there's another. Gene's not going anywhere. He's going to, he could be that one day if he's not that right now. I believe he is right now the oldest competitive poker player in the world. Anybody could buy in, but this guy wins, and he wins here weekly. He just cashed in 2 events in the Moneymaker, so he's no slouch. Now, since we were talking about the cash game, I'm going to play a little highlight video from the cash game. It won't be the whole video. They're taking a break. We're finding out some information. We'll be right back. But in the meantime, check out, this is mostly commentary highlights from Thursday, but it's entertaining and a little bit of fun. I hope you like it.
It's funny how they say voluntarily and they don't consider the blinds.
Well, because that's not voluntary.
Right.
You're
you gotta be
forced.
specific.
It's a forced
Right,
bet.
it's a forced bet.
It's fascism.
Yes.
I think. I don't know that.
I don't know either, but
Nightbot. Lighter of the day bot.
is that what it is?
Yeah.
Nice. It's a new show, huh?
As they say, need a couple of shuckers. He's a master of karate
Brilliant.
and a friend to everyone.
Nice.
I'll take a couple live ones. Need more action, says Marcus. There's only one way to do that. Come on in. We'll bring in another seat, lay down some cash, and start going all in. Am I right? Shout out to 349. You know what, Brian?
Listen,
I just don't understand you anymore.
You're bluffing, and you bet, and then you get called, and then you check behind. You're showing fear now because it's like, oh, I was bluffing. That shows the opponent that you were bluffing.
I hear you. Yeah, you're right. Proper strategy. But all this whole time, for the last 20 minutes, we've been going back and forth saying nobody's betting.
You're right.
Now my man's betting, and you're going to say you should have checked.
Well, that street.
And now we're back to the action.
You notice that numbers has 2 watches?
I would never say it out loud.
He does? Yeah. He's got one on the right and one on the left.
That's swag, baby.
Huh? Look.
That's swag,
That's
baby.
swaggy?
Oh, yeah.
He had 6 phones on the rail before. You didn't see that either?
I did. I've been saying all day, I'm a yo, raise it up.
Right. That's nice. I could barely have would have one watch.
Juice, sauce, little bit of dressing, ice, wrist, little bit of flexing.
Damn, got the drip.
I'm mad now.
The drip flag.
Pardon my drip.
He
Oh,
still
yeah.
thinks he's good?
Yeah.
Wow.
Just you can smell it on him.
Bet.
Good fold, good fold. 2 in a row for the rook. Hey, this guy's calling him a rookie. Why you call him a rookie? Guy might have been playing since he was like 14. Who knows? You see something, Mr. Smith. You see something?
Great players.
He's a newer player. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right.
WNBC.
Nothing bad to say about him.
Paulie with a little Howard Stern reference. WNBC.
Call. Call.
No. It's WNBC.
Check.
You shake?
Call.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. You see, that's what you got to do. It's WNBC.
Oh, I see now.
Yeah,
I see
yeah.
it now.
No, WNBC. Yeah, yeah.
I got it. I got it now.
You
5
can't do it.
players.
I could do that,
You
but
can't.
I just don't want it.
WNBC.
I got that. I just don't want it.
Team.
Paul, that was for you.
Yeah.
We love Howard
See, I got
Stern,
the W right off.
especially young Howard Stern.
W.
Call.
Yeah, it's WNBC. You ever watch Private
I
Parts?
got the N.
Oh, great
I
movie,
got
Private
that.
Parts. Speaking of which, Howard has got a
Numbers, though.
a
Numbers.
Queen Jack.
Numbers is there.
The numbers is there.
Yeah. Got the pair of aces.
King ball for Howard. Nope,
Oh,
just
it's the
kidding.
jack, though.
But it is a
It's the
jack. And that's gonna.
That's
Oh, did
10.
you pay him 10 now?
Yes. Yep.
He does?
Yeah, he just wants to look him up now.
Trust issues?
Yeah. No, Howard. Yeah.
Trust issues.
Here's your
Yep.
$10.
He's like, let me see.
Congratulations. Here's your 10.
Oh, you had
Just-
the ace, huh?
Just in case he was betting his 10. Trust me, I'm all over this.
All right.
Take it easy,
I
take
didn't
it
know if you
easy.
brought your left eye today.
Gotta
He's telling
take
him to take it
when I'm in
easy.
the
Yeah.
hand.
Listen to this.
Gotta take it easy when I'm in the hand. You got to.
Check back.
Gotta
Come on,
take it
take it.
easy.
That's my
Lawrence
guy.
got the nuts. He's telling him to take it easy.
If
What do you think?
You gotta take it
I
easy.
think they're going to go all in.
Yeah.
I'm
Bet.
all in.
All in. Call.
Damn. He's like, yo.
What the fuck?
Yeah, he sure did flop a straight. Set.
Man.
Oh, man.
Pair up! Pair up!
Oh, Oh, he's slipping and moving. Nice. He's literally doubled up 4 times today. And he's still at $60.
Oh, yeah. We're old.
That's when you know you're
It
old.
was
when you
like
fall- you fall
80s.
into the
Like,
music
oh,
genre, yeah.
shoot.
Like, what the
Yeah,
heck
New
are the
York,
80s?
It probably bluffed me and didn't show me the shit I
I was gonna show you, say you don't care.
You know, when you say that in poker, we really care. Come on, let's be for real. Everybody knows that
He
shit.
said, I was
I
going
don't
to show you,
care.
but you said you
I'm
don't
still
care.
trying to
And he said, you know in poker, when you say you don't care, you really care. Yeah, but look at this.
Little garden.
Look at this hand.
Some livestock.
I like that. A little organic, everybody's got to pitch in.
Yeah, a little bit.
I like that.
Yeah, keep
Right.
Numbers.
100%
What we
free
doing,
ride.
numbers?
So what do you think? Numbers is going
Like
to get
numbers.
stacked
I
with
would-
queens or what?
Numbers, what we doing, numbers?
Numbers, what we doing?
I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna get my hand
What we
right.
going?
Going all in.
We
Numbers,
getting
what
it
we
in.
doing?
Yeah.
I got the best starter hand, man. I should have
Numbers.
looked in with it.
I'm
You
being
got
honest.
aces, we chopping.
Do you want to fight or do you want to
It's
take
not
it
a
down?
fight.
I'm
I
just
want
letting you know.
I'll take it down when nobody get lucky.
I'm saying you want to check it down?
I'm not saying I'm gonna take it down. Or I'm gonna
I'm
fold.
going to take it.
If you win the money, you win the money.
I'll check it down with
You
you.
know, I don't just read it.
No, you don't check it down.
Ain't
a check it down kind of
Take
place.
it down, mean I want you to fold pre-flop. That's it. I'm gonna check it down.
Too late.
Well, listen, too late, man. You can't tell him to check it down.
with you.
Numbers got you beat. He's gonna take you. He's gonna double
I'm
up.
gonna check it down with you.
Stop.
I'm checking it.
He's trying as hard as he can to check it down. He knows he's got a big hand. He wants to check it down.
There's not a lot of things.
Smart player.
Oh, look at
I'm
numbers.
checking my word.
You bet.
I bet so.
Nah, come on, numbers. 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 That's it. That's it.
He got him for another 5.
That's it. Numbers. I check.
I check.
What are you checking for? Don't do it.
Check a bet. What?
It would have been sick if a queen came.
He's gonna bet.
It'll be colluding if I don't
Bet.
bet nothing, bro. You
Betting.
gonna see that? Remember, like
There
you
you
said,
go.
you gonna see the hand unless you say I don't care, and I'm gonna throw my shit away, and you see it later on.
If you block me out of this
You'll see
hand,
it later on YouTube.
numbers, you block me out of this hand. I got my wife watching.
Man, you gonna owe that man money? He put it to you. I don't know, man. I'm just saying. Big fold, man. I just said
Call it. He calls it. Shows it.
you
Yeah, no soft play around here.
Nobody good, man. You already did. We got somebody win a show. I just want to see both. Obviously, you know what they are, man. Stop playing. Monster.
The actual legend, Andrew Dice Clay, the Dice Man, is coming to the Palm Beach Kennel Club February 24th. Get his name right. Don't look at him. This guy's going to drop the house down. He's going to drop it down like a ton of bricks when the Dice Man comes through. You know how he rolls. Brooklyn B-Man will tell you all about him. But we can't do any impersonations of him without cursing. Sorry. Oh.
Check. Deuces, aces, jackknives. I like it.
Yeah, we don't check.
That's right, you don't check. That is OMG. Look at you. Oh. Bro, Allen, Howard, and Warren are all getting it in. Look, I called it. Howard, Allen, and Warren are all getting it in. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. How does Kevin do that?
Brian, that blacked out for a second. What happened?
What happened is we have two people that flopped the flush, and Warren sitting there with the nut flush draw, and possibly running both or quads. They do have a straight flush draw by Allen, though. So, the Warren is drawn to very slim diamonds because it can't be a queen of diamonds.
Are there any diamonds left?
All right. We are picture in picture because they are on the way back.
It's impressive the amount of gear.
We going to start back up and
With like the smaller
no, we're
ball
and
and doing Pilates.
right there we go.
Start back up in a few. We figured out that was a color-up break that was scheduled. That's why it wasn't exactly the correct amount of time in between breaks. Color-up break. Players still having discussions during said break. We are still playing it out, of course.
22, yeah. It's like
the only time changes there will be on levels are going to be once we get to heads up. They'll move from 60-minute levels to 30-minute levels for heads up play. Not quite there yet, but soon to come. Don't know if it's soon to come. After the next elimination, we will go to 30-minute breaks.
All right. Let's just speed it along. We're there already. We're at the end. This is it, you know. And then they just need to put the chips in the middle and get this thing over with. But they're working on getting there. Let's go full on. There we go. Give them the money makers. It's unbelievable that you can see that chair in the background.
I think we'll be going to blinds of 50K, 100K.
50 and 100.
Expensive. And James has taken the chip lead. As far as the deal goes, I know the conversations were getting very close or intense. Not reporting anything as of yet. Once we're given the go-ahead to do so, if that happens, we'll let you know. But last I heard, they're not reporting a deal having been reached.
Cards are in the air, though.
Yeah, we are on a delay, so that's our latest information.
So back to the action. Michael, wouldn't you know it, picks up some glimmer. Call?
Yes.
How about that?
Again, two strong hands pre-flop. King Jack off, ace two suited. Ooh.
Look at there. Fans
Bex
all
has a
over
little
the
crush
world.
now.
Yeah.
Okay. King Jack.
Well, keep watching then. Yeah, keep watching.
Mike flaps the top pair. This is King Jack. That's rather large on the flop. Just takes it down.
200 into 300. And now he's got that big, beautiful button.
make the blinds 1 on 200.
That what?
That big, beautiful button.
Oh, okay. Yes, he does.
I mean, I haven't seen him stand up.
I got a 3-hour drive after this. Going back to Tampa.
But we have gotten compliments from stream respondents, from players all over the place up here that they love those buttons.
You hear Michael say that he has a 3-hour drive tonight. I think he said he's going back to Tampa this evening.
Oh, well, that's a shame.
200,000.
Win that much money, you ought to come down here and
Keep it in the
blast it a little.
community.
Yeah,
He
exactly.
deserves a night off for
Yeah.
sure from the cards.
No, I mean going out.
Oh,
But I
going
guess,
out, yeah.
You know,
Where's the
different
going
people,
out spot?
families and all. Downtown, West Palm.
You get 100K in your pocket and
Yeah.
you're ready to burn it. Where are we going?
50 minutes.
If you got that much, then there are things to do around. But you might choose venues outside of where we are. But there's some nice places. There's Tuesday. Yeah, it's not a very huge night for this area,
Okay.
but in certain places in Broward County, there is never a bad night, you know, especially if you have $100,000 in your pocket.
Trapping season says go to Rachel's. What's Rachel's?
Rachel's is a gentleman's club up the road. I hear that they have the best steak in town.
Okay, what marketing there?
I always wonder.
Oh, apparently it's in their
Gentleman's
name.
Club and Steakhouse.
Oh,
yeah.
look at that. What a combo for all sorts of fans of
Cuisine.
delicious things.
So I always wondered, can you even taste the steak? Are you looking,
125,000.
Yeah, no, they're not joking around. I mean, it wouldn't be everybody saying it for 10 years or 15 or even longer if it were not true.
Luke says
And
that
yes,
Okeechobee Steakhouse has the best steaks in
When you
town.
get into the high, yeah, of course, it's a high-range steakhouse, and they're very, very good. You can go to Morton's if you want to have a steak like that too. You can go to certain places
225,000.
over on the island that just knock your socks off.
What do you mean? What do you refer to when you say the island?
Palm Beach Island.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Not far from here?
right. West Palm Beach is across the two bridges, and then Palm Beach Island is on the other side, and that's where Palm Beach Island is like the highest per capita or income
Okay.
per capita. Yeah.
Fancy place. Oh, boy.
Right.
I'm going to pause you there to show
Wow.
Sam flopping a monster. They both had 8s. Sam had the dominated King 8 against James 8, Ace 8, but no longer a worry as he flops trips, and James is going to have a hard time believing that Sam has a strong hand on this board.
He will just call.
Does not want to see an ace or an 8. Doesn't.
He checked too fast. I think you're letting him know too much. He checked like he was going to check before the card came out.
This is a terrible river. James might think his ace high is good. Sam will obviously go for some value.
I would overbet. Of course, I always overbet. There we go. Jupiter Lewis Steakhouse. Just won the award.
775.
All right.
775 puts James to the test.
That's a solid bet. That's the bet that I was thinking right there. That's a good bet.
Very large.
I get counterfeited here. You representing a 3, James?
I think you might have said, did you get counterfeited?
Oh, did he? Okay.
Like if he has 5s, 6s, 4s, or 3.
Yep.
Yeah, more likely expecting to see a 3 if he is bluffing, turning that 3 into a bluff once it gets counterfeited. Not so. Sam has trips.
Not in this
Top
case.
boat, that is.
And I'm just looking for the funny. So if anybody says anything remotely funny, I'm going to shout it out. Sometimes I'm wrong about what I think I hear.
It's a big game of telephone sometimes, listening to the conversations at the table, but
That's right.
try
Back
to get
in time.
try to get the spirit of what the players are saying. Share it with you when we hear it. Look at all these excellent steakhouses, okay?
Yeah.
Jupiter's, and no, in Jupiter's Lewis's Steakhouse.
Right. A lot of people don't realize that Florida is the #2 state in the nation for head of cattle behind Texas.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we have more cattle here than anybody else. But, you know,
Raised 300,000.
it's a big state. So it makes sense if you think about it. But a lot of people just don't realize that there are that many ranches and cows in Florida.
James not afraid to raise up the 5-4 suited in position. Does so and takes it down. Variance perhaps less of a worry as his stack grows even larger. Happy to put some pressure on the short stacks.
How crazy is he like that?
Trapping season, calling out one of our competitors. I happen to think our steak in the Paddock restaurant is delicious.
Bex is surrounded by cows and sheep in her country in the UK, so if you ever want to visit the UK, I have a strong feeling that Bex would welcome you with open arms.
Thank you.
225,000.
Which one's the stack of 20?
The yellows.
You don't eat sheep, though.
Sweet, thanks. Appreciate it.
Okay, we have a cooler here. James with pocket nines on the, or Sam with pocket nines on the button opens it up, and James has 6-6 in the small blind. Just calls.
Michael safely out of the way.
Back to the point of him reducing the variance, not wanting to raise with mediocre hands. Let's see some flops. Oh my.
Yeah.
This might be good game Sam, depending on how this plays out. James flops a set. Sam the overpair in the betting lead.
425,000.
Comes out betting 420.
Flops like this, or how you win 2 WPT titles, doesn't help to be able to build the stack to put yourself in this position. But James in a dream spot, praying his opponent. Sam has a strong hand because with this much in the pot, 3-to-1 stack to pot ratio behind, just calls. Now, Sam will be able to get away on some runouts. This is not one of them. 4 of spades keeps his nines as an overpair.
That's right. No action killers on this one now. I thought he might get a straight card, but he did not.
James
500,000.
leads out, not wanting to see the turn go check, wants to make sure chips go in the middle on both the turn and the river. No pot control as an option for Sam. We don't know if he would have checked behind. No way to know, but James makes sure a bet goes in, puts out 500,000. If Sam reads this as a blocker bet, which would be James trying to control the action, not face a bigger bet than he wants to, take control of the pot, that sort of thing, then he'll be tempted to either continue with a call or a raise. A lot of bad turn or bad river cards. That's going to leave Sam in no man's land. But if he can get away from this here, that would just be an all-star play. Probably not even the correct play at this point, still holding the overpair.
He's calling.
A call. 2.5 in the middle, 3.3 or 2.8 effective behind. Okay. If Sam had an 8, that's now the best hand. Or I mean, if James had an 8, that's now the best hand. Something else for Sam to be worried about.
Right. He's been telling him.
Of course, there's also straights available. 5-7, 3-5, those sort of things. But yeah, Tuckasan, Tucker in the house. This is a brutal hand. Playing three-handed too. It's just so hard to make a hand as strong as an overpair, much less the full house that James holds. He goes for all of it. Sam's tournament life at risk. Facing the shove, slight overbet from James. All the decisions, multiple days of poker to put you in this spot, and tournament life on the line with this one situation.
And he'll think about it.
all we beat is a bluff. If James has flop to set, hit an 8. Part of the concern now is James could be turning a 2 pair that got counterfeited into a bluff if he had 6-4, 6 deuce, deuce 4, those sort of things. Definitely wants to bet the turn, get some chips in the middle, and then the worst card in the deck comes out and an 8, and now he has to bluff. So that might be what Sam is thinking. Of course, if we have a straight, a full house, an 8, all of those hands go for value confidently.
I mean, like, I feel like you have it. I just don't know how to fold.
That's dangerous. I feel like you have it. I just don't know if I can let it go.
That's what he said. Such an important pot. 6.7 in the middle.
That's giving somebody the chip lead.
Yep. If Sam folds here, he's left with 28 big blinds, and I think the short stack, you know, certainly plenty to play with, but just hate giving James so many chips. He calls.
He calls it. Wow.
Sam, bad
Good
run out
game.
for your overpair. What can you do? Tap the table. Good game. You should be proud of yourself.
Absolutely. Good game.
Players show some love to each other. Sam got into this tournament for $90 or so from an ACR satellite, and he cashes out with what we were reporting as $60,424. What a run.
Right.
Well played.
Hello, Demo Boy. Thank you for joining us back. Next tournament, Max will win.
I'll let you know in a second. I think I'm like a 3-to-1 dog.
I wonder if he's in the 100K. I'll have to go check and see if Max is in the 100K. We'll find out.
Michael asking James how much he has. Well, much easier to count your own chip stack, Michael, and then look at what total is in play. I think you're probably about a 3-to-1 dog here. Florida Mountain Man says there can be only one. Yes, that's true. It's going to be one of these two.
There can be only one.
Check your mate 813 still has hope in Mike Rossi, who's the other satellite winner here. No matter what happens, he just got a $34,000 payday with that elimination. Here's your chip counts, just as you asked. 9.7 for James, 73% of the chips in play. 3.5 for Michael, that's 27%. So as said, almost a 3-to-1 advantage.
Yeah, 862. Just the dream. Turn 4, river 8. Turn 4, river 8. And tank called with the 2 pair 9s and 8s. And you had a full house.
You hear James say, just the dream run out for that hand.
Yeah.
Somehow, no overcards came to let him get away. I'm going to do some inventory, get these numbers correct. They're going to set the chairs up for heads-up play. We are going to reduce the levels to 30 minutes.
Thank you again for joining us. Again, this is fantastic. We've seen some electrifying poker so far. This is Palm Beach Kennel Club, the Moneymaker Tour inaugural event. This is the main event of that series event. This is $2,500 buy-in, $500K guarantee, and you're seeing it. We got some of the best in Florida, some of the best in the world coming down to play, and play they are.
I think Sam should be proud of the way he played. Didn't do anything wrong in that final hand. Found himself in a very tough spot and decided to go with the call. And, you know, had it gone the other way, he'd be chip leader. Not this time, though.
That's right.
Got to fight for pots. You can't give up anytime your opponent shows aggression.
As I'm gonna have Chris come down, I'm gonna get a picture of you guys.
You hear Tony Burns. There he is, the man himself, tour manager here.
There's the man himself.
Maybe.
And Chris Moneymaker.
there.
Look at Moneymaker in the house.
Yeah.
Nice, thanks very much. And hey, congratulations.
I was hanging out with Chris earlier before the tournament started down in the cash games. He was playing the biggest game in the house. I think they were playing 25-50 PLO Big O, round and round.
Nice. Action.
I mean, he's human cuts. You smack him, he'll go down.
Thank you, Chris.
And if you're nervous,
I was asking him questions, doing some interviews for an article that I'll be posting soon, and I was distracting him.
Congratulations.
Well, at one point, he misread the board, didn't realize there was a full house available and a big O.
Yeah.
And he bet, and then the guy raises him, and he says, man, TJ, like, you distracted me. I didn't even see the full house. And I was like, oh, please don't lose more money because of me.
Right.
No, he's the one that told me, like, I can do this. It's fine. Let's do it. And he ended up calling. The guy was a bluffing. So I made Chris Moneymaker some money today.
That's awesome.
By distracting
awesome.
him.
Pumping up the champ.
Yep.
Yeah, let me double check.
Well, thank you very much. This is Palm Beach Kennel Club. This is our local merch. TJ's is from
Poker.org.
Poker.org. There you go. Check them out. They're a fantastic resource for all knowledge poker related. We have thoroughly enjoyed having all of the Poker.org members in the house this past week and a half.
Shout out, we had Will Thomas out here, our photographer, videographer, content creator. Lee Jones, one of our very talented writers who's been around the game for quite some time. They both produced some quality content last week. I've been down here this week. Obviously spent a lot of time in the commentator booth, which has been just wonderful. But I've got some good content in the pipeline. Some articles with Moneymaker. Obviously, we'll give a recap for this tournament and highlight the players who made it to the final table. And then I'm off heading to Vegas for the rest of the summer.
There's a big event going on or something out there, right?
Something like that.
Yeah. I heard that
there's some. They play some poker in the summertime.
Is it poker too?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I didn't know if they still played poker out there. If it was all craps and roulette.
Depends how much of a degen you are.
Yeah.
You can do both.
Terribly. Craps is craps is the worst. I love it so much.
Oh, the stuff we gambled on during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Locked in your house watching Russian ping pong, esports.
Yeah, we have TV shows where you count the words. Say if the word cop, if they go over 5, then you pay. If they set the over under for the word cop in a TV show at 4.5. So it's pretty funny.
Seth Bowe, 1028. Do I know Brett Hanks? I've met him. He's showrunner for Poker Go. Does a lot of stuff for them. Wears many hats, but organizes their games for many of their popular brands.
Yeah. He was big long last game, yeah.
Let's switch this up.
Very talented person in the industry. I don't know him very well. Not going to try to lie. But yeah, get to come across a lot. When you're in poker media, there's not that many jobs in poker media, so I feel very lucky to do what I do. And travel around the country, play poker, cover poker.
Same here. I get to play for a living. That's what I do. I work in a poker room. It can be stressful. It's not fun and games all the time, just like these guys can experience. But go ahead.
6-7 versus 5-7. Heads up first. Heads up hand. We're at blinds of 50,000, 100,000 still. James does have an overwhelming chip lead. We've confirmed those numbers, 9.5 to 3.4.
Steals the button, steals the pot.
Heads up poker, a different beast. Obviously, you're involved in every single hand one way or another. You're putting chips into the pot in every single hand. Have to widen your range. The relative hand strength value goes up, so oftentimes non-pair hands will be the best hand by the river. Have to navigate those things. Have to call down much lighter than you would in full ring games, obviously.
250.
Smooth camera work by the production crew back there. Shout out Tyrell, Michael.
Let's see if we have this correct. The button is going to Michael right now.
Right.
And the small blind is on the button.
Button small blind, right.
I think we might have had that reversed in the last hand. We'll see if we get it straightened out. It's always weird when you go from three-handed to two-handed. Who's the big blind? Who's the small blind?
Oh, James was a small. He made it 250.
Yeah, but prior to that, I thought it said that Mike called.
Oh.
Yeah, which he wouldn't
maybe
have
they had
the
it
option
backwards.
to do that, yeah. Yeah, now we have James as the dealer. So, yeah, this is reversed. It is Michael as the dealer. James is the big blind.
We'll keep you guys straight.
350.
So Michael called, and James took his option and raised it to 350. Michael is calling the extra 250.
See a lot of calling pre-flop and heads-up play. It is, again, a newer trend. People like to keep pots reasonable sometimes, see
Michael
some
just
flots
flopped
in
the flush.
position, not get blown off the hands. Oh boy.
Michael just flopped the flush, and James flopped top pair.
400.
This might even things out a bit.
James leads out for 400, and Michael is salivating. He knows he's got this one.
To raise now or to proceed with just a call in position. I like this.
Pair makes 2 pair.
No diamond, so no terrible action killing card, or potentially a card that gives your opponent the best hand. 8 of hearts, we can't be worried about full houses playing heads up play. A flush is a very strong hand.
After having led for 400, it's on James. The next street, it goes check, check.
Oh, wow. Michael lays the trap.
Diamond, no.
No, jack of
Jack on the
spades.
river.
Does James go for little value, maybe a small bet? Or does he check it over to his man? A little value it is. 200,000, very small.
And this will likely be raised.
Trying to name his price, knowing that if he checks, his opponent might bet bigger than this, putting him in an uncomfortable spot. So tries to get to a cheap showdown, find a way to put cards on backs for only 200,000, fighting for this nearly 2 million in the pot. Don't think Michael's going to oblige. Will still probably make this more expensive holding the queen high flush. After checking the turn, disguised how strong his hand is. This jack does complete some straight draws, like 7-9 and queen 9.
$575.
Bumps it up. The obvious bluffs that that Michael can have, or just one big diamond that didn't get there. James is going to wonder, is he raising here because I bet so small? Did I induce this raise as a bluff? Or does he actually have a hand?
Big, big bet coming.
Oh boy, he turns his 10 into a bluff.
Snap called it.
And gets snap called.
Yeah.
Oh my, a misstep from James.
Nice check on the turn.
That's
that
what he
was a nice
says.
check
Yeah.
on the turn. Yeah, how about that? That was huge. That was huge right there.
Yeah, he puts him all in and gets called.
He just doubled him up. So Mike fans, I believe your energy is working.
He just got the double and now goes from 3 to 1, and Mike might actually take the chip lead heads up here.
That was a punt.
Wow, that was a punt.
That was a punt, says James. He has the 10. He's thinking I can represent a full house here. I can maybe get him to fold a jack. But no, never folding.
Yeah.
Kind of leveled himself into that play maybe. He bet so small, and then he gets raised fairly small.
Yeah.
Thinks maybe he's going for some thin value. Definitely not. The check on the turn.
He complimented that,
Yep.
yeah.
That did complicate matters in James's head.
Yeah, that was a huge hand for Michael.
And now it's an entirely new match coming in.
I was saying fold in my head, but then I just went all in.
That
I was
happens
saying
to the
fold in my
best
head,
of
and
us.
then I just went all in.
Sometimes our hands move independently from our brain. We think, what are we doing? What are we doing? But once you move forward, it's too late. He didn't even get a chance to sweat that one out. Got snap called.
250.
Yes, James with 7 million does have. Let's see. Michael has 5 million. Is that correct? Somewhere
That's
around
right.
there. I think Michael just flopped another flush, guys.
Wow.
6-10 suited. Has to be.
Is this the Rune Goody? Rune Goody? I'm not sure what that rune. Run good? Is that what it?
Think he is definitely running well.
I've never had this experience, so I don't know.
He has to wonder, is this real life? Did I just flop 2 flushes in a row? You know how hard it is to flop a flush?
Yeah.
And here in the biggest spot of my life, heads up against a tournament crusher, him bluffing into me again?
James undeterred by that hand and coming at him now with 9-5. Michael has made the flush.
He turned what he thinks is one of the best cards in the deck. The 4 gives him a double gutter, any
Double,
deuce,
yeah.
any 6. I think one of our production staff just told us that the odds of flopping a flush twice in a row is over 1 in 13,000.
Yeah.
Michael just did it in one of the best spots of his life. Not going to take credit for that math. I'm more of a word guy, but I'll take his word for it. Something about squaring some number.
Michael facing 1 million.
This. What do we do? Do we just call again? Is he really bluffing us back-to-back hands? A quick fold,
Yeah.
because Michael does elect to raise.
It's not for me, no. Never. That's my name. I don't drink coffee. Yeah, I stopped drinking coffee. I'm not sure who bought it from me. So. Someone else can have it.
Somebody sent it in.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
This is you?
Sorry, I didn't even look over all of a sudden. He was too busy bluffing.
Small blind.
He gets the finger guns from Mike.
Too busy bluffing.
Maybe.
Look at Mike. Now he's smiling.
All
He's
smiles,
relaxed.
Yeah. It's back in the chip lead.
This is how the story was supposed to go. He thinks I came in as the chip leader.
Right. Chick.
Yeah,
Trick
Rizuku.
me.
I think you're right. Keep his bluffs in with a flush. He did it in the previous hand.
Yeah.
And then
Got an
just-
extra million out of that
yeah.
one.
This time he thought his opponent was stronger than he was and tried to put the raise in there to try to get it all. But
100.
We're good
hey,
now.
graphics team. Well, maybe I missed it, but at some point we got it correct. Buttons on the button, big blinds in the big blind. So things are gravy now, and Michael feels so, I'm sure, as well, sitting with way more chips than he had just moments ago.
Double up plus 1 million.
45 minutes like I had the heat game.
It's funny how that happens. When you get through that one sweat tan, and
Yeah.
then the relaxation, everything just
Yep.
comes back. You're just living a whole new life.
Has the chip lead.
250.
You go by yourself?
Has the confidence,
No.
the swagger.
250.
Oh, no?
Yeah.
Look at the conversation flowing at this point.
He sent me a text actually on break. I'm not sure what's going on, but
I like Nolan. He's funny
there's
here.
a lot of action there.
Nolan is a lot of
Good guy.
fun. Nolan's, I mean, he was in this tournament until the very end.
Yeah.
On the live stream cash game, barreling 4,000 into a $230 pot.
Michael flops second pair, backdoor flush draw. James has an open ender.
Wow.
Michael turns trips. Can James get there on the river? No, of course he can't. This is Michael's tournament right now.
3 or an 8 would have made James straight.
So many hands, you just end up with no pair, king high, ace high, that sort of thing. Michael has flopped 2 flushes and then made trips in the 3 consecutive hands. Or I think there was one in between where it was a nonsense hand. Nothing happened, but still, strong hands galore. And James is not folded yet. He calls with his king high.
Wow.
What I'm talking about, king high, oftentimes the best hand.
Right.
Thinks all the draws might have missed there. If he has an open ender like myself, I have the best kicker.
It's got to be frustrating though every time he calls for his opponent to turn over a rock solid hand. Like he's never actually bluffing. He's never bluffing. Is that what we're playing here?
I'm not going to put the horse ahead of the cart here.
Yeah.
But 20 years ago, Chris Moneymaker entered a satellite into a massive tournament and won that tournament. You know, just inspiring dreams for poker players all over the world. 20 years ago, to the day, today, Michael Rossi entered this tournament via satellite, and now he finds himself as the chip leader of a massive tournament with $134,000 up top. The Moneymaker Tour making dreams come true, just like Chris Moneymaker inspired of all of our dreams 20 years ago. So can he close out the deal, take home first place, and perhaps start his own 20-year career from here?
How about that?
Maybe he'll have his own tour in 20 years.
It's
Start the cycle
possible.
all over.
Right. And much like Farha playing against much like Moneymaker playing against Semi Farha, Michael playing against a seasoned professional in James Carroll here.
Did Michael flop a set? Yeah, sure he did.
Of course he did.
5-5.
We don't need to look at the screen anymore, people. This game is called Michael Wins.
Okay, full house. We have filled up. We go flush, flush, trips, full house, all in the span of 5 or 6 hands. And James lets go his 10 high. Michael, he has to be thinking to himself, what is happening? If I was playing Ultimate Texas Hold'em, I have a trips hand every hand. Bex, thanks for hanging with us. Good night. Appreciate you being here, supporting us all week long.
Yes, thank you for tuning in. And come back, join us again. We'll be doing this. We'll have a regular schedule. You're on Twitch. You just follow us on Twitch, and you'll get a notification whenever we go live. You come see us. It's not always big tournaments like this. It's not always me in the booth, but it is always entertaining.
So what's Michael going to flop here? A flush, a straight, a full house? We'll find out. 7-4 clubs allow for all of those things to happen. Open ender. Ace 5-6. James checks his king high. Michael. After Michael checks, James does as well. There it is. There's the straight.
And just the straight. Okay. So flush, flush.
Somehow I knew it was coming.
Trips, set.
Full house.
Full house.
Straight.
Yeah, straight.
Nothing for James, though. Hard to get paid. One of the worst cards in the deck for Michael's turn straight. Of course, doesn't matter.
200.
Better straights now available. Flush is available. None of those in James' hand. You know how you certain clips from a poker stream and create a highlight reel?
Sure.
Just do the last 20 minutes.
That's
for
right.
Mike.
That's all we got. Yeah.
Every hand's a highlight for him.
I'll have to call you again with king. What's that? Oh, in that spot there?
James just said it. I was about to call you again with a king.
James was trying to get some information, hoping his opponent would show him his hand.
Sure. These guys are savvy.
But also being honest. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes being honest and being savvy go hand in hand. I think about poker like George Burns thinks about acting. He said in Hollywood, the key to this game is to be genuine, kid. And once you can fake that, you got it made. James with 9-4 off in the big blind. Michael is going to raise in the small. He dumps it. James now with 1.7 million in his stack.
Oh, no. Nothing to apologize. You're fine. Yeah. That stuff doesn't bother me, man.
We really appreciate these players coming down to West Palm Beach and hanging out in our room.
Yeah, that doesn't bother me. You're good. Thank you.
Concentrate.
I know.
We're glad to have Tony and
You can start
Chris in
yelling
the
at
house.
the air horn, man. I don't give a shit.
The air horn might be a little excessive.
250.
250.
James and Michael both with an ace. Ace 9 versus ace 8. James takes it to 250 on the button.
This might be the one, guys.
All in bet.
Yep.
All in a call.
There it is.
Yeah, it is.
Ace 8, ace 9. Could this be the tournament?
Think so? No.
Someone says chop.
It looks like chop.
I think Michael's hoping it's not the case with his ace 9. That's not a chop
I'm honestly
board.
surprised it wasn't 4-9.
Anything but an 8. There it is.
Wow.
Your champion.
Runs low.
James Carroll, two-time WPT champion. Run down by the satellite entrant, Michael Rossi. Hands up. He celebrates. Those on the rail celebrate with him. Those in the chat, his family.
I imagine it's going nuts in Colorado right
cheering
now.
him along from the opposite side of the country.
Miss Joanne, I hope you saw that.
These are unofficial numbers just because we can't confirm whether something was done off stream, but nothing was reported to us. So should they take home the prizes allotted, these are the numbers. 134K up top for Michael, 94K for James. Well played by all 6 players at our final table.
That was just fantastic, yeah.
The dream, the circle is complete. He's taken the path of Mr. Moneymaker himself and entered the main event via a satellite. Maybe not in Vegas, maybe not at the biggest platform in the world, but a big enough one because we're at the Palm Beach Kennel Club, and he has just won the first Moneymaker Tour main event ever. The first of many will have Mike Rossi's name engraved upon it.
That's right.
For all time.
You can't win them all unless you win the first one, Mike. So he could win the rest of them, too. As of right now, he's the only one in the world who could win all of these.
This is true.
What a great game. I hope you guys enjoyed that. We're going to stick around for a while and see if we can get an interview going. Check out some things, see if we can get Tony and Michael down here and talking about what just happened.
Yeah, talked to Michael a little bit beforehand. Great guy, just excited to be here. Couldn't believe that he got in on a satellite, and now he's here, and now he's completed the story.
Yeah.
What a great one. How appropriate. The Hollywood scriptwriters couldn't have done it any better. It looked for a while like James was going to pull it out and pull the rug out from under our man. Couple ill-timed hands, heads up, changed things completely, and Michael just ran like God there at the end. What can you say? Sometimes it's your tournament to win.
Flush, full house, trips, set. It's just incredible. Good luck and good poker. They really go hand in hand.
We'll do some housekeeping here. Take some pictures. I think Chris Moneymaker is involved with a celebration out front. And then, like Josh said, get the man for an interview. We're definitely going to try to get some quotes from him so that you can enjoy that. Hang with us. Don't go anywhere. If you want to celebrate along with Mr. Michael Rossi, the first ever Moneymaker Tour main event champion, hear it from his mouth what it felt like to run so hot at the end. Don't go anywhere. Hang out just a moment. Stick with us.
What's the goal? What's the objective here?
Well, he wants a like a triangle type thing.
Triangle.
It's not working. So it should have green in the back. You got much as well.
Watching online downstairs. Fucking wild.
You can go ahead and go with 4, and then you can put these in shorter stacks if you need to on top, probably.
Hey, thank you for
That was
reminding us
fantastic.
that we're doing that again.
Florida Mountain Man. What would we do without you, buddy?
But anyway, what I was saying was we're not sure if there's any chop or not. We don't know. It hadn't been made public yet. So we'll find out. But we're going to have Tony and Michael come down, and Tony will talk with them and interview Michael and see if we can get a little information out of them. At that point, as far as we're concerned, I believe that we report those numbers that you see for each one of those people in the payout screen there. And everyone else who hit a payout in this tournament, we report all of those to Hendon Mob as those numbers. So as far as Hendon Mob is concerned, Michael's new top score is 134,265. That's to overtake his 79,823 from the 250 in Hard Rock that he had earlier this year. He is obviously playing very good poker and maybe a little lucky. I don't know. You can call anybody lucky. But that last run
that last
there,
15 minutes or so. Why can't I run like that?
You got to be able to rake a guy over the coals, though, when you're getting the cards like that. And he put the bets in that he needed to. He disguised his hand well. That check on the turn, you heard James say, that was the reason why he put those chips into the pot. So that's called good play.
Right, and for James, you have to start thinking in a run like that, well, he can't have it
Not
this time,
right? Yeah,
I mean, he's had it like the last 5 times, and then he had it every time.
Get your, you got your water bottle over here? We were going to represent for the Panthers.
No, I put it over there.
Yeah.
That's okay.
That's all right.
You know why it's okay?
We got one right here from Seth Bowe. So
you know why?
There you go.
Because I got my phone. Let's go.
There you go. So Panther fans in the house, go ahead and give up some love to the Superfan. We want to see those guys win. Everybody wants to see this miracle postseason continue. They are doing pretty well. Miami Heat. Florida Panthers.
I kind of got a break from the commentary today because my voice is, I mean, it's not like gone, but, you know, it's definitely diminished.
Yeah, I notice it does sound like you're whispering a little bit. Yeah,
I kind of sound like a bald one right now.
Right.
The shadow knows.
That's what I asked Jacob if he wanted to come on today and sit in for a little bit. He's like, no.
I know Omar
Last night I can't do it. Like, all right.
Yeah, he was at the Heat game.
He was at the Heat game. That's right.
Come on, you're supposed to be that tall, Josh. There you go. Now you're tall.
Yeah. Well, I want to get the Moneymaker logo in there. If you like these shirts, this is dry fit. This is very, very comfortable. All of the things, they got hoodies, pullovers, collared polos, T-shirts, hats. All sorts of things to represent the Moneymaker Tour, and they would appreciate your purchasing one of them. Go to moneymakertourpt.com. You can get some of that stuff there too, I'm sure. We have, they're ready. If they're ready, we're ready. Yeah. All right. You're on.
Yeah, I'm on, so I got to get out of here.
Matt's going to go take
Thanks
them
for
to
tuning in.
That's
Catch our
right.
next show. When will that be? You can tell.
We're going to take a break. We were running everybody pretty hard for the last couple weeks. So we're not planning on streaming any this coming weekend. We're going to take a little break and get ourselves retuned and wrapped up and ready to
So you want your saddle on
come
ACL,
back
right?
for the multi-flight happening at the end of this month. The beginning of next month.
This is Mr.
So the multi-flight starts next week on
what's up, Mr. Nagy?
the satellites for Wednesday.
So this gentleman right here won
Thursday.
Man, we run good, huh? That's how we do it.
Chris just FaceTime somebody, and now they're.
It's been a long time coming. No, we're actually super short. You know, coming into to day 3, we were just really nursing the short stack as much as we could, just being patient, trying to find the spots, and got down to about 130K, 5 big blinds, and then just the magic happened from there.
See there.
Here we are.
See what a great showrunner I am.
Experience has been incredible. I do.
He won his satellite on ACR, so
I've paid thousands in rake back on your site. Thousands. And you can see that.
So this is fascinating. I don't know if they know this is on stream.
Cool. Yes, sir.
I'd like to offer you one of those, right? And you can come out to London and come play the next Triton events with us if you got time.
That would be incredible. I'd welcome
Fantastic
the
offer. He's offering to send him up to London and play in the Triton event the next time. Yes, they are.
Wow, that's incredible. I'm honored to accept that. Thank you so much for the offer.
And you get the same offer if you want. If you want to sell 50% of me, 50% of yourself to me, and 50% win the same package. Crystal hard vouch that anything I say, I've always stood up to stand behind.
That sounds fantastic.
To win the first moneymaker event on 20 years later, the day of the same day, like, how good do you run? You're the next moneymaker.
Run good, play good. You know, that's it.
Right. So we'll see. I'll see you here in London. Right.
Excellent.
And I think the 27th, July 27th is the first event. Right.
Sign me up.
Crystal, Monday. I don't even know what fucking today is. I've been out. Let me tell you what I've been doing the last few days. I just got back from Cyprus. I've been playing cash games, and for the most part, I've been playing VIP cash games because I can't do shit in the tournaments for some reason. Because I'm a fish. 1,000, 2,000 with a $4,000 big blind ante, right? 6 max, and well, Chris, how did I do yesterday?
No, you won 1.4 yesterday. He did pretty good. Pretty good yesterday.
Strong.
Yeah.
The swings are well. It's 3 days before that. I lost 1.2. Right. So the swings are pretty good.
And you're gonna be there. I'll be out in London with you, so we'll go have some fun.
There you go.
I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you so much.
What a nice world we live in. This poker community is fantastic.
We'll talk in a couple of days, and I'll give you some pointers on how different Triton is.
Sure.
And when you get out here, it's any of your
America's Card Room CEO, yeah.
You want to meet Juan, you want to meet Antonius, you want to meet.
He's already met him.
I'll introduce
He's got Chris right there.
But you're there. I'm trying to do you a favor and see if there's anybody else you want to meet, right?
Appreciate it.
I think he wants to beat all of them.
You got to run that good to have this actually happen because we didn't plan this.
Yeah, he's like, just put me on the phone. We'll talk.
You know what? Let's just light $100,000 on fire.
I appreciate you putting on the package and making it happen for me. Yeah, the opportunity is there, and just got after it, man. So thank you.
See you in London, Phil. Say hi to Messi for me.
Thank you, sir.
So again, that was Chris Moneymaker talking with Philip Nagy, CEO of America's Card Room. I think they may have a new ambassador. He won his way in on ACR.
If it plays anything like ACR, we should be all right. Thank you so much. Pleasure talking with you. I don't think
I got
so.
like
Wow. Thank you.
900 hours in beta testing on ACR.
Good luck, brother. I'll talk
15
to you
years
soon.
ago. More than that, 20 years ago.
Yeah, no, it's really cool. He was super excited to tell you that, and obviously he's going to do that for you from the Moneymaker Tour. You won on my 20th anniversary. Again, this isn't scripted by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah.
This is, you didn't win with 4-5. No, you won with ace 9.
Ace 9.
I said 4-5. Anyway.
There was a 5 on the flop and 4 on the turn.
Fair enough. So I'm going to put you in the main event of the World Series of Poker this year. Come
What?
out and play with me out there, and you know, ACR patch and a Moneymaker Tour patch, and
Wow.
and
That's huge. Chris Moneymaker just put Michael Rossi in the main event, he says. Come on out to Vegas. You're playing the main event on me.
People to, you know, experience life-changing opportunities, and this is your time. Enjoy it.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, I was going to let you do the winner's photos. We can do it first. Okay. Push that way.
What a great guy. That's fantastic. See, that's what you get involved with when you come to something like this, folks. You see awesome, amazing people doing great things for great people.
No problem.
Keeping the hat.
It's all yours.
It's all yours. Keeping Chris's hat now. He's like, ah, you put it on me. Now it's mine. That's just fantastic. So congratulations, Michael Rossi. You hear that out there, Chatland? Michael's going to the World Series main event. He's going to be playing with Chris Moneymaker on his dime. That's fantastic. Yeah. You got to give him blue steel, too.
Yeah, it's up to you.
Go jacket.
All right, it sounds like we're going with the chairs right up there. There you go. I'm going to switch us over, folks. Hang on 1 second.
Hang on to it. Just kind of keep it on the side, you know, because the switch is a little sensitive.
There you go. We got them sitting down now. They're coming to the Moneymaker. Interview area. As you can probably tell if you've been around this technology before, it's a green screen in the background.
I think so.
I'm going to try to shut up and let them do all the talking. I went to college. I can do this. That's hilarious.
Yeah, absolutely. Sure.
All righty. So they are doing a live interview right now with the winner, Michael Rossi.
Tony Burns here with Mike Rossi, the winner of the inaugural Moneymaker main event. Congratulations, Mike. $134,000. We'll get into the phone call with Phil Nagy from ACR a little bit, but tell us how you're feeling right now.
Man, this is incredible. Literally living the dream, you know. Didn't set these kind of expectations. I just came in playing poker the best way I can, keeping my head straight, you know, playing the game. And you know, it's been a blessing, you know, grateful for the opportunity. I got to give a shout out to you guys for putting together a great structure. You know, the tournament overall was a pretty solid turnout. There's some world-class players that we had to play against. Hats off to those guys. It was tough competition, but you know, blessed.
So you won your seat for $90 on ACR. Tell us a little bit about that satellite that you won.
Yeah, so I saw the ACR was, you know, promoting the Moneymaker Tour. That's kind of how I heard about it. You know, seeing it online, and I grind a little bit on ACR. I don't really have a whole ton of success. You can see that on SharkScope, but I do play a lot of the cash games there in my free time at home, and played a daily tournament at the Hard Rock Tampa, busted out, and just came home and jumped in with some rakeback money, actually. I had a little rakeback promotional dollars, cashed that in, and then just gave it a shot. One bullet into this satellite and just grinded in. It was paying 25 seats, so just incredible, the whole experience, you know, to win a $4,000 package. You know, got the buy-in along with the hotel stay, so that gave me extreme confidence. Like, I just got to get out here and make it happen. So.
Tremendous. So as people may know, 20 years ago on this date in 2003, Chris Moneymaker won the World Series of Poker main event for $2.5 million. His buy-in, eerily similar to yours, $86 on PokerStars, taking 86 to 2.5, you taking 90 to over 134,000. What does that mean to you? How eerie is that?
It's an incredible return on investment. Am I right? You know, so just the whole idea behind it. You know, I just take it one step at a time. My goal was just to win the satellite and just have the opportunity to come in. That's really was my focus. But to be here, obviously, you know, it's amazing. It really is. It's a dream come true to have this opportunity and actually close it out again against some top players that were in the tournament. It's definitely something special.
Yeah. So walk us through going up against James Carroll, two-time WPT champion. Also on that final table, you had Steven Song, 2022 GPI overall and mid-major player of the year. Tell us how you navigated through that final table and then the heads-up match against James.
Sure, yeah, definitely had them on the radar coming into today with 6 left. Obviously being the big stack, I just wanted to kind of manage my position as best as I could. Definitely didn't want to give Song or James any unnecessary chips. You know, those guys are world-class players, some of the best in the world. I think they've, as far as winnings go, I mean, I'm down here way at the bottom compared to those guys. So definitely just try to stay positive, stay committed to the game, let the cards come to you. Didn't come in with any kind of a level of intimidation, just keep playing my game and just let the flow. And did kind of put some more attention on the shorter stacks that were to my right. I was grateful for the table draw that I was able to pull. Had some guys that were shorter and we were able to capitalize there. And tough spot for, I think it was gentleman got in there with Berto, got in with 8s versus queens, like standard spot, you know. So those guys are tough, and going against James Carroll, heads up. I mean, definitely was a little intimidated. You know, this is somebody who's been there, done that.
Yeah.
You know, this is my first time, so just try to stay confident. And you know, really, if you guys followed the stream, you saw what went down. It was the cards just kind of flowed towards me. It was a pretty incredible run there, the last 5 or 6 hands. So just kept a positive spirit. Definitely had the confidence I was going to win it, and all the encouragement from my family and friends. It's been awesome.
So you mentioned Tampa. You said you were 33.
Yep.
Obviously, 20 years ago. Not into poker at probably 13.
No, not at the not at the time. But the final table with Ivy and Moneymaker and all that. I mean, that's the example that I kind of showed my girlfriend. You know, because they rerun it so many times on TV. You see that same situation replayed, and you know, I've seen it so much, I've memorized it, but my girlfriend's seen it, so this whole story that's come out, me being in the satellite and him going on to win, it's been crazy. You know, she's kind of learned the poker just watching from that little series itself.
So after winning the event, you get a phone call from Phil Nagy, the owner of ACR. He tells you that you've got an added bonus. Tell us a little bit about what was offered to you by Mr. Nagy.
Yeah, Mr. Nagy offered me an incredible opportunity with America's Card Room to actually be able to go out and play in the Triton Series in London coming up. He's offered me a $100,000 package. Can use it how I see fit between various tournaments. That I had no idea was coming to me.
And neither did I, for the record, until your heads-up match. Chris came over and said if he wins, he's in for something special. And
yeah, that's absolutely incredible. So I still haven't fully processed it. Blows my mind that he would offer that to me, but I would definitely welcome the opportunity, and we're going to do our best to capitalize on that.
And the main event, I heard.
Yeah.
The
Mr.
WSOP
Moneymaker himself offered to put me in the WSOP this year main event. So that's been a dream, incredible opportunity, and you know, I'm going to do my best, you know, to run that down. That would be absolutely insane.
And that's what the Moneymaker Tour is about, is getting back to, you know, that $86 spirit and winning life-changing money, which Mike did here today. Mike, congratulations on behalf of Palm Beach Kennel Club, the Moneymaker Tour. Enjoy the win. Any special plans with the money?
No special plans. Giving some thought on some investments. Probably put it towards real estate. I don't know just yet, but poker's still kind of at the front of my mind. Definitely want to keep chugging along here. I've been grinding for so long. Had so many shortfalls, and to be able to close it out, it feels so great. So I'm probably going to take some time to celebrate the win, soak it in a little bit, and you know, on to the next.
Well, I know you say your mom was blowing you up. Your girlfriend's probably super excited.
Yeah.
Enjoy the win.
Yeah,
so.
Appreciate it. And my mom's got to be freaking out. But again, it's you know, big blessings to her. You know, poker's a tough game, and you got to have that support group, and they've been very supportive of me, you know, going through the journey and encouraging. So big shout out to all the friends and family, everybody that supported me and believed in me. Much appreciated.
Well, good luck in Las Vegas. Good luck in London.
Thank you so much.
And we hope to see you at our next stop in Daytona.
I'll be there.
All right.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Yes, sir.
All right. There you have it, folks. Fantastic interview, fantastic win. That was huge. Thank you to Tony for stepping in there and doing the interview for us. Well, there's that again. So there's Chris Moneymaker talking with our tournament winner right there. We've got the payouts in front of them, so you can't really see them, can't really tell what they're saying, but the stars of the day. This gentleman, Chris Moneymaker, won $2.5 million in the main event 20 years ago on this day and inspired tons and tons of people to consider poker. And lots of us did. Lots of us got into this business because of this gentleman right here, and now the tradition passes on to the next generation. We'd love to see it. Michael had a great run. He played great. We thoroughly enjoyed hosting this event, having you all on, having everybody watching. So thank you again from the Moneymaker Tour. There we go. Moneymaker Poker Tour. You can check them out on moneymakertourpt.com or just Google Moneymaker. It'll pop right up. He's a household name, you might say. He is in our industry for sure, because literally more than half the people who are playing right now probably started because of his win back then. Yes. It was like breaking a glass ceiling, cracking a bubble, whatever you want to call it. When he did that, millions of people all over this country and the world said, poker. I think I can do that.
Yeah.
And here we are right now. So we very much appreciate you guys stepping in. Thank you, TJ Reed, Terrence Reed at poker.org, poker.org, however you want to say it. If you want more information about them, you can check them out at poker.org or